Hey everybody, hope everybody is well. Suicide is such an important subject to discuss, and I know that watching a lot of content this week on LinkedIn, looking at different mental health publications and generally global mental health, the suicide rate's gone up, as we know. It's difficult times, yes, but I want anybody that's struggling at the moment to be positive. If you're a mum, if you're a dad, you're an entrepreneur, anybody, especially if you're a parent doing homeschooling and you feel really stressed, my biggest advice for you is to completely have an organised mind. When we are more organised as an individual, we actually can combat stress. We can't just switch a button, sadly, and turn everything off. Coronavirus is not going away tomorrow, and you're all going to live prosperous lives, believe it or not, but you're going to have your bad days. That's always going to be part of life. For my case and my situation, I went through sexual abuse, and it took me many years to overcome that. In a sense, there were some parts I blame myself, and when you have been through trauma as a child, and sadly my condition of epilepsy, a rare type of epilepsy called Non-Epileptic Attack Disorder, which scientists know they happen, the seizures, they don't know why. It's very closely related to PTSD. So I've been through severe trauma and I've had flashbacks. I don't have flashbacks anymore. But my strongest advice to everybody during this lockdown period is to subsequently, the more organised we are as a person, and if you have lost someone, you need to feel pain, but the more organised we are as individuals, we offload things. If you have organised shelves, if you do a house tidy up, if you feel you've got too much housework, my sole advice is just to sit down, have a cup of tea, have a break, put things into perspective, as I've said before in this series. But it's really, really important for you to be organised. The more organised you are, your stress and your anxiety levels will go lower. We are living in unprecedented times here, across the globe, and it's really, really important that, to look after this. You need to get out. We open like me today. I try to get out as much as I can. My head, my feeling, and doing this video series is, really good for my mental health. But, I know that companies around the world are watching this video series, which is fantastic, and that, use this material, use my knowledge, use my experience, contact me. But going back to, suicide, that we can't actually rely on governments to say, look, increase spending. Yeah, it's one way, it's one measure. I know that, women have been affected quite severely during this pandemic because sadly domestic violence has gone up and increased. And it's really sad to see that. And the different measures we can use. Reading one report from the World Economic Forum is saying they need more outreach programs. But believe it, one of the biggest things as an expert learning designer that we can do is when we watch videos, in actual fact, we learn more than what we do from reading text, although reading text is very good. But when we're actually watching videos, which is why YouTube, LinkedIn's got a kind of an issue at the moment with content, which I'm trying to change at the moment, because the feed is going downwards, not across. When you watch a video, it's soothing, you learn something, and that information goes in the brain. So if you're in that feeling, that mode of, right, I'm really feeling down, no one loves me, no one talks to me, I'm lonely, and if you've got kids or not, everyone's going to go through that period in their life, especially now. This is the highest peak we're going to go through in that state of mind. And when you watch somebody like an inspiring speech from Tony Robbins or Arnold Schwarzenegger or anybody like that, there is that endorphin release again that you feel happy in that moment. And that's what video content does. So I say to organisations to increase performance in your company, and from my 2 years of research in this area, videos are the best way we increase performance in all areas, especially with mental health. So it's really, really important that you actually are uploading the right content, give that to the right people, especially people that basically are working at home, and that's really, really important. So I highly, highly encourage you, all learning designers, learning, directors, L&D managers, to, especially Pearson, I know you're doing a great job at the moment, putting out content, is to design video learning, especially with the suicide rates and sadly the self-harming rates we've got in amongst 16 to 24-year-olds, and even lower than that. We're having increased admissions to hospital around the globe with people self-harming. I'll be very, very careful, all companies doing their marketing strategies, not just around self-harm protection, staff well-being, what platform we use, because I'm currently doing an investigation on platforms Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok on safeguarding, and my findings so far are, LinkedIn is a safe platform. TikTok is not safe at the moment, sadly, with the algorithms and the actual features are not safe, and indirectly the company are supporting harmful content, and there is not many measures you can do as a parent to stop your child from watching harmful content. So to reverse that and use it as a positive, because I know that in the media there's been a lot of pretty serious issues recently by investigations on social media platforms. LinkedIn is the best provider in terms of pushing out the right content to your staff members that will hopefully, in theory, help their families live their home life, because you're supporting them through good content, positive, and that will change behaviour over time. In terms of mums, dads, and people experiencing anxiety at the highest level now, just be more organised, be open, don't be scared, talk about mental health. Mental health is a global pandemic, yes, before COVID-19, but we're all going to have our good and bad days, whether coronavirus is here or not. So we used to, as a society, live in a place where men, especially, don't talk about their health. It's the macho image. Well, that's going to change, because if we don't, then cases of death and suicide will go up, sadly. So I spoke quite a lot today about suicide and mental health and what companies, big organisations can do to support their staff around that area. So I will continue this as a 3-part series. Remember, this is a lifetime series. I share my knowledge, my experience, my research, as well as my walk in my own health. And to give you a little bit more context, what's the reason why I've been able to rise up during this pandemic with somebody that has severely suffered trauma. The point of fact is that when I help people and produce content, there's that endorphin feeling. So however we choose to help someone, there's that self-relief that we are doing positive in the world, and that's a really good step. So I highly encourage everybody to get behind helping people in any shape or form. If you are that mum, that dad, or that employee where your company is not treating you well, look after yourself. If it means you have to resign, don't worry about money, okay? Your health has got to come first. Take it from somebody that suffered severe epilepsy for 5 years. I've been admitted to hospital over 100 times through the public being helpful and kind. And, at one stage I wanted to die. I wasn't suicidal, but I just said, I'm a Christian. I just turned up my head to the sky and I said, look, God, take me up. I want to go. I was married at the time. My marriage collapsed, sadly. I've been in some very dark places, especially as a child. But I bounce back. I'll be strong for people. I have my bad days, but at the moment it's very good. And the only way it's good is because I'm organised, I'm focused, I have a sense, I have a purpose. But I know it's more difficult if you've got children, or there's that feeling that because you haven't got kids, you don't want to speak and you think that, oh yeah, you know, people won't listen to me. Everybody listens, okay, and everybody should listen, especially your company. And you know, I'm here for you. If you need me, you know, contact me, connect with me. Let's work together. Let's build a really new movement behind supporting people living better lives through good mental health well-being. So I'm Stephen Fahey, Managing Director of England Design Limited, founder of Learning for Your Brand. Here with you every week, sharing my walk in health, success and stress. Take care, wear your mask, space, and above all, love and respect each other. Thank you so much, everybody. Take care, bye-bye.
Why do you leave me lonely when you know I'm bad at being alone? I'm stuck in the past, you told me, but all I ever wanted was a home. So why do you leave? Where do you go? Would you just stay if I came home? We could go for a drive, figured it out, calm your fears and drown your doubt. But I gotta know, where do you go? Why do you leave me lonely, even when I'm staring you right in the eye? You are my one and only, and I mean it for the rest of my life. So why do you leave? Where do you go? Would you just stay if I came home? We could go for a drive, figure it out, calm your fears and drown your doubt. And I gotta know, where do you go? Is there a way to write the ending? Am I too late to change your mind? Why do you leave? Where do you go? Would you just stay if I came home? We could go for a drive, figure it out, calm your fears and drown your doubt. Why do you leave? Where do you go? Would you just stay if I came home? We could go for a drive and figure this out, calm